might as well just make a bet right now.
Oh, baby. St. Patty's Day.
St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the pregame show.
Shillelagh.
Presented by Bet365. Never ordinary, but always green.
Do you think if you asked Vote what instrument he played, he would answer the air horn, the human air? Like, you play it with such vigor, it's like your instrument.
It's true. I've done it arguably more than any human being alive.
No question.
So there's that.
I would say definitely have, honestly.
There's a really good chance.
We're also presented by the green today. Miller time, baby. Look at the Miller we got drinking over here. Nice and green at the DNVR bar. I love St. Patty's Day.
I know. We don't know if it's Kool-Aid or beer, but...
It's beer.
Okay.
Well, hang on. Let me check.
How is it?
Still beer?
That's beer, yeah.
It is beer. I'm going to go drink a couple of those myself. On today's show, this is the first time I have actually given thought to the idea that the Nuggets might reach 58 wins.
Yep.
They need to win today, though. Like, every game now.
They got to win a bunch of games.
They got to win. 11-4. We're going to talk about that. We're also, man, somebody threw this on the timeline. Was it Andy Bailey? I don't remember who. Is Murray a greater all-time Nugget than Melo? Remember when we used to do this for Jokic and Melo? That was long ago. That answer has been answered. We're going to talk about it with Murray and Melo now. And then, of course, Dev's going to make us all rich. But green from the waist down. Brennan Votes here.
Green from the waist down. Green on the
always
inside.
that way.
You know what I mean? Happy St. Patrick's Day to my fellow Irishmen, Irish women, Irish folk out there. And go Nugs. Am I right?
How many of you had so far? Is that?
No, this is it.
That was it. Okay.
This is my first sip.
There you go. Over here, green from the waist up. It's D-Line Co.
I'm also got green on the shoes. Listen, I'm not going to get pinched. It's all good. My whole day, I woke up, I'm like, I can't get pinched.
Dude, that is the thing, is that for adults, St. Patty's Day is like Halloween, but for kids, it's like, I just don't like when they pinch.
Yeah, I mean, as I was getting dressed, I was reminded of us walking down the street in Belgrade, and Dev got pinched by a gypsy, but not for not wearing green, just because they were trying to get money out of him, and it was hilarious.
This really happened? Superstar Dev.
That absolutely happened. And I made a vow to myself that if I get pinched again, I'm pressing charges. So I dare somebody to pinch me today. I am pressing charges.
It was the funniest thing.
You want to know what I said?
Yeah. The greatest. Dev walking down the street got pinched, goes, ouch! And then was so disappointed in
He said all
himself.
4 letters. O-U-C-H.
I tried to run from her. Hey, I tried to run from her. She said, just give me money or I'll scream. I'm like, I already screamed.
That's incredible.
But while we're on St. Patrick's Day, this is one of those. I love Irish car bumps. Cannot wait to go downstairs and get one.
You know, you can't.
Are we really doing them today? That's
have
like one of
to.
my favorite drinks there is.
It's my favorite drink.
You know who don't love Irish car bombs?
Yeah, the Irish.
Yeah,
Or
like
in Boston.
I had one in Dublin. They thought it was hilarious.
If you order one in Boston, they look at you sideways.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and then you're like, I'm sorry,
That's
can I
it.
get a...
If you do anything in Boston, they look at you
If
sideways.
you go into Manhattan and order a 911, you don't have to pay for it. The bartenders get it. It's the same thing. Yeah.
Let's move on, guys. Let's talk Nuggets in Dallas for a matinee. Take on Luka Doncic and the Mavericks. This is a great matinee, man. It's a great matinee.
It's a great matinee, endangered only by the status of Luka Doncic and Dante Exum, who are questionable entering today. But they are both going to play, and I'm thrilled for it because it's early. It's a Sunday. I want to watch good basketball, fellas. The Denver Nuggets are too good, not scared of anyone. And so you want to see everyone at full strength. And it looks like the Dallas Mavericks, for the most part, full strength. Luka, Exum will play. Josh Green is out with a right ankle sprain, and Jason Kidd did say he could be out for a little bit here. So he's not going to play today. Luka and Exum will. For the Nuggets side of things, it's just Vlatko again, outside of the G League, fellas. Vlatko is out with that left knee surgery.
Who's at the G League?
We got, on assignment is Jalen Pickett and Hunter Tyson.
So it might be a call-in night if it's needed. Garbage time calling even if it's needed. Okay.
Indeed. And as for the Dallas Mavericks, they lost to the Thunder on Thursday. And
no Luka in that game.
No
Luka
Luka in that game. But yeah, guys, that's all I got for game notes, really. Everyone's available for Nuggets. Most people are available for Dallas. Ready to go.
This would be a good test for Denver. Another one of those games against a team that that Denver is very likely to play in the playoffs. I project, and me and D-Line kind of disagree on this, I project Denver will be the 2 seed. I just think Oklahoma City's schedule is kind of easy down the stretch, as is Denver's. I think that Dallas or Phoenix is going to be the 7 seed. One of those two teams. They probably end up playing each other in a play-in. But I think one of those two teams will be the 7 seed. So tonight could be a playoff preview.
Yeah, I can see that happening. The disagreement that we have is that I believe staunchly, firmly that Denver will be the 1 seed. But all the same, these are the teams that are in that range that there's a good chance.
Making up 2 games with 14s to go is tough. That's part of the calculus, is you have to have 2 fewer losses than Oklahoma City, and there's only 14 to come from. So if you go 11-3.
Yeah, I just can't imagine the Nuggets losing another game. So that's part of what I'm factoring in.
Even today?
Dude, they're so much better than the Dallas Mavericks. Like, they are so much better than Dallas Mavericks. So, yeah, I don't fear for any team. It really comes down to if the Nuggets want it, then the 1 seed is theirs, in my opinion.
I think that the Nuggets will go after a first seed. Like, with it being right there, it doesn't make sense for you not to get aggressive about it. Just because you will have that advantage of being, home favorites throughout the entirety. I do think that Denver might look at this and say Thunder has a chance to lose in that first round. So does it really matter? So I think it depends on these type of games. If you go in there and you take care of business early, yes, but you're not going to try to press it. So I think that Denver has chances to just try to attack teams early on and then go from there. So I really don't think that they care about it as much as I did like maybe a month ago. But I think it's still like in arm's reach, so why not go after it?
Do you think they're still going to be locked in? Because that's the thing about it, is I agree. The Nuggets, man, 12 games now. They've been locked in for a majority of all of those games. Tonight, we did talk about it being the rhythm stretch. This is the one game that's not quite rhythm. It's a 1:30 game. So do you think the Nuggets come out locked in today?
I'm not sure because of the reason you just mentioned. But outside of that, I actually do feel better about this than I think most do because of the every other thing. I just think the Nuggets are best in a rhythm, and they're just playing basketball right now. But NBA players are creatures of habit, and I do think a 1:30 Sunday start on the road is a bit weird. Wouldn't be the first time we've seen the Nuggets maybe not have the ideal first quarter in this environment. Having said that, at some point in the four quarters, they'll lock in. I just think I think they're having too much fun right now playing mature, responsible basketball. Like even in the games where they're not their best, at some point they look around at each other and say, "What are we doing here?" And so you'll get Nuggets basketball today at some point.
Because I think Dallas is a very likely first-round matchup, I also wonder if this is a game Denver doesn't over-strategize. If they kind of don't go deep into their bag because it's like, hey, we might play this team, so we're just not going to show anything, kind of play things regular. I'm curious of that. That being said, this is also a good matchup for Denver to check out Dallas's new-look team.
Yep.
Daniel Gafford, P.J. Washington. We haven't really had an extended look at that going up against Denver. Yoke has murdered those guys on their previous teams.
Yep.
So I'm curious to see if that happens tonight, and that's why I think tonight's game is so special. All right, Circle K, who's going to eat? Dev, start us off. Who's eating tonight?
Who's eating that brisket and the corned beef and hash?
Brisket is a St. Patty's thing too.
Hell yeah, bro.
I didn't know that. I know the corned beef was. But
Making
I
things up.
brisket, yeah.
I think that this is a Jamal Murray eats type of game. I think that he has a perfect opportunity to go off. He has Kyrie Irving and Luka switch defense against him with other undersized people. I think that he's going to do a lot of pick and roll. Yeah, you don't have the Josh Greens there. So I think that this is a game that he can go off in. It feels like it's been a couple of games since he's gone off. So maybe he looks at that and says, hey, it's time to get back right. So I think that this is a game for Jamal.
This game is also on ABC. So there's national television, but then there's network television.
Are the lights bright?
This is the brightest of bright lights.
Turn them up, baby. Turn them up.
What do you think, D-Line?
It's Jokic. I mean, come on. What are we doing here?
It's too early for Eric he's taking the easy route.
I mean, listen, I can give you my theories
you don't
about
think
the
Gafford's
edges.
Gonna stop him?
I can give you my thoughts about the way the Nuggets are handling their rotation going down the stretch. Nikola Jokic is going to murder the Mavs as he always does. He is joyful entering these games because of his relationship with Luka Doncic. He's going to be happy, and he's also just in a mode where he's kind of just like wanting to show people. Like he's in the kind of remind you mode, which is just the most beautiful place for Nikola Jokic to live. It makes me happy all the time. I just can't imagine him not coming out and taking care of business.
Well, Murray and Yoke are off the board here. Who's going to eat tonight? Vote?
Who's Vote going to pick?
It's everyone's favorite Irishman, Michael Porter Jr. Who I don't
Michael
think,
Porter?
I don't think Michael Porter Jr. I don't know. I didn't check that. He might not be Irish. I do think he's going to eat, though. He's been playing well, man. I thought he played well in the last game, but it was a quiet game. Not much was needed for Michael Porter Jr. Shot 50-40 from the field. Only played 25 minutes. Does he get the rock? Does he got a little extra energy today? Porter's been crushing it since the All-Star break. He's had some good games against Dallas. Do you guys remember earlier this season even? He had a great defensive masterclass game against Luka. I don't know, man. I like the way he plays in this matchup. I feel good about today.
I honestly don't think any of the remaining people are going to eat. Because Dallas has a really good bench, so because they stagger, the two best players. So I'm very skeptical to go to the bench, any bench guys. I don't think KCP's going to eat. And Aaron Gordon has the Luka assignment. He's going to eat on defense. He's not going to eat on offense.
So who was right? So who was right out of us three? You have to double down.
Damn it. Yeah.
Jokic should eat tonight. But I will say this. I don't know if he's going to. Jokic's always hard to predict his mind frame. He has been very serious, business-like.
Very serious.
But at the same time, as I mentioned, this is a potential playoff matchup. But I do think there's probably a little of I could go for 70 tonight on Gafford, but I'll just save that for game 1 of the first round.
But I don't think you have to pull out strategic plans to go for 70 on Gafford. He could just shoot the basketball.
But I'm saying maybe he does it. Maybe he's like, wow.
They're like,
no adjustments needed from Dallas. This is so hard.
So going in, Dallas is like, all right, let's watch the tape. So we know Jokic can't and won't shoot. So we got that,
we got that
in our pocket.
Not when we put Gafford on him, he won't. Total lockdown. If I have to pick one just so that I could claim I'm right at the end if it actually happens, I'm going to go with Christian Brown. Christian Brown.
I love that none of us go, well, we take no risks on the show ever. You're Christian Brown guy, you're MPJ guy, you're Murray guy.
Christian Brown's going to go off. Actually,
I like Jokic. I'm the smartest one here.
He did go off last game. Bench has been on fire.
By the way, the Bucks are going to win. They're up 14 points with 3 minutes to go on the Suns. What color are the Milwaukee Bucks?
Blue,
Green.
right? They're blue?
They wore their blue jerseys today.
On St. Patrick's Day.
It's a great point on
in charge of this? They have a blue. They're not blue. They're green. And they went alternates today to make themselves blue. So bizarre.
It's a great point.
And they're going to win today.
Milwaukee has arguably the worst uniform set in the NBA.
Yeah, they're not that great. Guys, 58 wins. It's within reach. The Denver Nuggets currently at 47-20 with 14 to go. That means they need to win, or 15 to go. They need to win 11 of their last 15 games. Feels very doable given how they've been playing lately. Feels very doable. Now, they do have a lot of tough games. I will say, if they win tonight, given that Oklahoma City is pushing them, I am going to predict that Denver will finish with 58 wins. If they win tonight. If they don't, I will predict they finish with 56 or 57 wins. But staying right there with Oklahoma City and having to win, and then how easy, to your point, they're playing so well, it looks like. I just think this is going to be a storyline. I haven't been thinking about this all year, Vote.
I agree with you, and I know it's not always fun to just completely agree with everything you just said, but I've been saying all year that what actually happened last year was that they won the West very early, and people kept saying it was a wide open West, and it wasn't. It was locked down probably late January, and Denver knew it. And I think you're right. It's not locked down. And sometimes you hear Malone come out and say, we don't want the 1 seed, but I don't think that these guys aren't all having team meetings and saying, what's our company line about the 1 seed?
I don't think they talk to each other.
They're like, guys, I set up a vision board for the team. Now, everyone to add to the vision board.
Right. It's on Pinterest. You're going to have to log in.
If anyone asks you about the 1 seed, we're not going for it.
I noticed no one added the 1 seed to the vision board.
That's Malone's perspective probably on injuries or playing time or whatever. The guys on the floor are going to play, and they're going to play hard to win, and especially, there's a human nature element to, hey, we're a half game out of first, we can go win, we can get first, let's do it. So I think they have a real shot this year. I do. Especially because the bench is trending in the right direction.
This win today, will solidify, them just getting into a groove. If you look at it, their only tough games is this 3-game stretch that they have right now. The Mavericks today, Timberwolves on Tuesday, and then the Knicks. But it's at home as well. So I think that, those are the 3 teams. After that, you get,
Portland and Memphis,
Yeah, you get the Spurs a few times and teams like that really don't matter. So I think that if that's if that's something that they're aiming for, especially with like chasing that number 1 seed, then I think that they have that. So I think they could get there.
You want to talk about the ultimate side quest to stamp yourself. Like, they have every other thing that declares this the golden era, the best time that it's ever been to be a fan of the Denver Nuggets. The current champion of the Denver Nuggets was a team that was so fun but flamed out so hard in the first quarter. Like, this squad should absolutely want to be the number 1 team that's ever played in Denver, Colorado. No arguments, no ifs, ands, or buts. It's already the case, but dude, set a record. And then again, like, if Coach Malone is part of the hashtag Moach of the Year movement, like I am, that's something that's a real argument. This team has led his squad to the most victories in its history of over 50 years. That's a Coach of the Year performance.
Not to mention, it would make him the winningest coach in Nuggets history when you combine regular season and playoffs.
Come on, guys, do it.
I actually think it might be the biggest consequence of the Nuggets if they win 58 is that Michael Malone would go from off the board to like way up in the conversation.
I need you have to start these waves. We got to start. This is, I just cannot compute that Michael Malone is not even considered in this.
It's wild. Jokic getting so much of the credit is both deserved and awesome, but also like this is the consequence of it. It almost sucks in a way in that it swallows up all the other fun storylines. But to your point, a lot of teams win 55 games, 56 games. Like that happens all the time. D-line, it's happened lots of times in Denver history. 58 has never happened, and I agree with you. To me, it doesn't mean anything other than symbolically it feels like it belongs to this team in this era. And it's weird that they don't have it. It definitely, and I love that 2013 team. There'd be something weird to like have that go away. But you know what? It's time.
Yeah, but the George Karl tweet would be awesome.
The George Karl tweet would be
the congratulations tweet would be awesome.
It would be
probably
awesome.
Pretty layered.
Yeah, it would probably be very layered. It would probably be very layered. Speaking of layered George Karl tweets, Carmelo Anthony.
Oh, man.
Remember back in the day when we had these debates with people? How many times have we been right about Jokic? Every time, I think. Every single time.
100%
about him being better than Melo. And it was always like, you're just hating on Melo. You know. Well, that debate came and went. It's all gone. Yeah. That's like, we're over. But somebody brought up the other day that Murray might actually be a greater all-time Nugget than Melo. And my first initial instinct was, come on. And then you sit and think about it for a few seconds and you go, hold on a second. I think he definitely is. I went from that's crazy, let's not be a jerk, to thinking about it and now going, I think Murray is a better all-time Nugget, more iconic playoff moments, won a championship and was a huge piece of it. And then when you just look at their resume side by side, Kel, you have the career. Oh, you made a little graphic here. Is this career?
Yeah, this is career, and then I have the 09 versus 24 as well.
They've almost played the same number of games. Obviously, Murray's points per game is going to be down a lot. But when you look at the efficiency stats and even the advanced stats, they're really close now. And if you just take the next one, which is just their peak season. This is 2009 for Melo. This is last year for Murray, or this year for Murray. This year, Murray owns, you can't really tell, but Murray owns most of those numbers.
Yep.
So, Dev, is it crazy to think that Murray is already a greater all-time Nugget than Melo?
I think when you have these type of arguments, it's about like the non-basketball stuff.
You think?
Yeah, because I mean, it's what Carmelo meant to the city and bringing back the Nuggets into like the national landscape. Yep. So I think that it's a time like people became Nuggets fans because of Carmelo Anthony.
True.
That has never been the case for Jamal, and it's not his fault. Like, he's playing alongside Nikola Jokic. So, like, the numbers are going to be skewed. What he means is going to be skewed. But also, he brought the city a championship. And, again, that goes to Jokic as well. But Jamal Murray is, like, a huge reason of why they won that championship. So I think that it goes to that. I don't think a lot of people are going to say Jamal is over Melo just because of...
Yeah, but a lot of people didn't say that about Jokic when it was clearly true. So I don't care what a lot of people say.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Melo. But I think that Jamal is right there.
Do you think he overtakes him then in years to come?
I think so. Like when it's all said and done, I think he will, especially if he's able to put together multiple championships. Like, there's no argument.
Yeah, this is what it is to play in the rainforest underneath the canopy created by Nikola Jokic. Both Michael Malone and Jamal Murray are underneath, waiting for any light beam to make it through. get any kind of shine because people don't think about Jamal Murray because of Nikola Jokic's greatness. That's the other thing is that Murray has never had to stand on his own for this Nuggets team the way that Melo did. So it's a little tough to say outright. I mean, he's brought more. He's brought more success to the Denver Nuggets. But again, that's in concert with Nikola Jokic. But I do think that in the direction it's going, this era is going to be so powerful that it's just like. It's going to be Michael and Pippen. It's just like you're going to be like those.
Yeah,
everyone
but that
that's
might be
part
a
of that.
good.
No,
that might be a good analogy because Pippen was great.
That's what
he
I'm
was
saying.
always thought of as
right. But now now that it's said and done, people recognize Scottie Pippen as being on that level as well, and it'll be easy to eclipse all other things Nuggets with this era.
I went on record with this summer, actually, on our show.
Really?
Yeah, I said it on our show a few times. I think Murray's the second, in the running for the second most important Nugget of all time. Now, there are other OGs who I think probably have a stronger claim because of, just what they mean and what they did carrying a team on their own. But yeah, man, Jamal Murray is, in my opinion, the second name you mentioned when you think of the first ever Nuggets title, and he was essential to it. I don't know if he would be as good Melo leading his own team. I also personally don't think Melo was ever that good leading his own team. I'm not trying to go be like a radio guy. I never thought Melo was that good. I honestly think he may have peaked his rookie year when he should have won Rookie of the Year. And not like as a basketball player, but like his value relative to how he's understood. Like he came in as a polished scorer as a rookie and was unbelievable. As a career, I think he kind of underwhelmed. Didn't win a lot. So to me, Murray's title, I mean, yeah, Melo's probably a better player. I mean, definitely a better player, but Murray's title means more.
Melo is like Paul George in this era.
Kind of.
A good player, everybody's like, yeah, that guy's good. But then as you look back, you're like, what has he done? Is he as great as we all think he is?
The thing is, it's the reason I hate that comp is
you just like Paul George.
Because I like Paul George, but also because here's what it really is we viewed basketball and analyzed it so differently back then. And so it's hard to analyze it through our today lens when players were aiming at a different target. Like LeBron James changed his shot profile through the analytics movement because it was like, okay, it made sense, and then all this stuff. So to judge Melo for being this sort of ISO scorer who didn't do a whole lot of other stuff, that's the mold he was trying to be because that's what it was.
Yeah.
So it's weird. I don't mean to discount him for it.
But I don't mean those two players are similar in play style. I just mean as far as impact and what they actually are to the league. Like Melo is those are perennial all-stars, but you're not those are the guys that are going to get the team over the top, that are going to make it happen. And when you look back, you'll be like, that was a great player.
What's tougher for me about that, though, is Melo in his era was the KD of that era. But I don't think he was. I just think that was his reputation. Paul George is even below what I think Melo's reputation was at the time.
Could be. I'm just trying to think of who in that. It's
it would have been more of a DeRozan.
But just hearing votes outside opinion of Melo, because here he was everything, but that's the gravity of our situation.
It's the cultural thing. I honestly he made the Nuggets cool after the longest period of them not being cool.
Yeah.
They weren't just good and he was good, they were cool. That being said, you know who also has made the Nuggets really freaking cool? Jamal Murray. He actually has. Jokic is the better player and has equal as many cool moves or as cool moments, but I actually think Jamal has the same number of cool moments. Not impactful, not sustainability or whatever, but just Murray's peaks are so freaking high and so awesome.
It's where the light is the brightest.
Honestly, you could think of the spin move. You could think of the up and under in the bubble. You could think about the 50 pieces. You could think about crying after Game 6. You could think about Game 3 against the Lakers. Was it Game 2 or Game 3 where he hits all those threes in a row? There's so many iconic Murray moments.
Think about Dev getting pinched.
Dev getting pinched.
No, it's true.
Iconic moments.
We watched that 09 playoff run together, which from the Nuggets side of the fence I had never really watched. And it's not that he was bad, but did he have a moment in that series? You think about how many moments Murray's had in a Nuggets uniform. That's a great way to think
Melo
about
had some, but Murray just seems to have a million of them. All right, let's get to our favorite part, the betting part. Let's open up the green app, Bet365. Never ordinary.
Oh, this is how you don't get pinched, is you walk around with your winnings.
That's so true.
That is true.
You know what else is green? Yeah, money.
Denver comes into this game as 2-point favorites. Line move 1 to Luka when he's in the game. So, of course, I like Denver. I really like Denver in this game. I do think that this is going to be a desperate game for the Mavericks, especially with that loss to the Suns. Like, they have a chance to, like, climb out of the play-in. So I think the game will matter. Also, Luka's coming back, and he did not have to play. Like, that goes to tell you their mindset. They really want him to play, and I'm sure that he wanted to play against Nikola Jokic. I like Denver. I'm going to go over 231.
I love that. Well, I was glad you went there.
Over 231.
Can't believe I'm making an over bet in an era of unders.
They got tough shot makers on their team. They have a lot of guys to, like, just focus in on. I think that your game plan every single time you play Mavericks is trying to stop Luka or Kyrie. You're not going to be able to stop both. One of them's going to have a good game. Let's just hope it's Kyrie and not Luka, because that dude is good. He is incredible. I like the over. For Dallas, it would be foolish. It would actually be trifling to bet a Luka under. And I'm not trifling. I'm going to go over points plus assist at 42.5 for Luka. He's special. He's really good. He's probably going to eat. Circle K, they have pictures of Luka in there, I'm sure. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to go over 2.5 3-pointers for Kyrie Irving. For Denver, what you guys all came for. Let's go right back to the well on Michael Porter Jr. 3-pointers.
You know I love that.
I'm a little bit shocked that he hasn't been hitting this. So guess what he's going to do? He's going to hit this. This is a game. They're a bit undersized on Dallas' side, so I think that's going to, like, be the focus of just trying to stop people in the paint. That there's going to be some open shots for shooters. They have a knockdown shooter. Michael Porter Jr. over 2.5 3-pointers. I said that Jamal is going to eat. I know he's going to eat. This is a bucket getting game for Jamal. Over 21.5 with him. Kyrie and Luka mismatches. I like that with those switches. I think that Aaron Gordon's going to have a good game. I'm going to go over 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists. They're going to go after that size advantage. I think that he's going to get a couple of alley-oop dunks. The rebounds are going to be well for him. Sticking on the rebounds.
Worried about foul trouble with him, but we'll see.
Over 5.5 rebounds for Aaron Gordon. I think Luka's going to try to get that switch as well. That gets him away from the basket. He's going to be able to grab rebounds and go. So I like that. I really do like the over 22.5. Let's go 2 steals. Over 1.5 steals for KCP. He's been baiting guards. And Luka and Kyrie are like I can't believe he just tried that type of guards. Like the audacity. I think that KCP will be able to scoop a couple of steals up with that. For the lock.
Finally.
And this is going to be a watch along. So this is
That's
the bet.
right. Watch along.
There's a watch along. So here goes the bet.
This is the
I like
lock.
2 of them. I actually like 2 of them, but they go together. I like over 21.5 rebounds plus assists for Jokic.
Okay.
And I like the lock that we're going with is over 48.5 points, rebounds, and assists for Nikola Jokic.
Okay, the official play along.
The assists have been down lately, but the points have been up.
I think he eats on points
This is
tonight,
a matinee
man.
game,
Begrudgingly.
and the world is watching. You know what he does when the whole world is watching? He cooks. Welcome to Benihana's. It's going to be that type of game today. That's the lock.
No triple-double bet, but he and Luka both plus 210 for triple-doubles.
That'd be fun, too.
If they both get them.
Yeah.
You got any bets here? We're doing a watch-along. We got to get crazy with that. You got to throw some at see
Oh,
what
boy.
sticks.
Oh, my goodness. I like some P-Watt stocks, baby. I'm going...
Steals and blocks?
Yeah, dude.
1.5?
Give it to me, baby.
You might get plus value. Let me see. Plus value. 1.5, it's plus 110. You're eating that one up, huh?
Yes.
Who's he blocking? Tim Hardaway? Might be blocking Tim Hardaway. You know what? I kind of like Yoke steals tonight.
Okay.
I kind of 1.5 steals for him. It's plus 145. They have Lively. It's a young guy.
Oh, boy.
He'll turn it over. You know, they got PJ Washington. They got guys that he could steal from. Cookie Monster can get some steals tonight.
Sure can. Cookie Monsters, we got to hit that one harder. It's so good.
You got any bets?
No, I don't, but only because I'm getting this watch along post up.
But I'm saying, are you like? Is there anything you think's going to happen tonight? You don't have
Yeah,
to,
but
like,
I dissociated while Dev was speaking, so I don't want to
okay.
step on his
Let's just get a double down. Who do you think has a good game?
Porter threes. Did
So
you
Porter threes, you're up 2.5?
Yep.
Let's just double down there. Let's
Cool.
also make it a watch-along bet.
Let's do it.
You have all these kills? My God. All right, guys, we're heading over to the watch along. It's going to be fun. Matinee game. We're probably going to drink some beer since it's St. Patty's Day. That's what you do.
Oh, man. Yeah, guys, everyone watch our careers evaporate live
A
on the
whiskey
internet.
shot for every Michael Porter 3. Here we go.
Oh my goodness. Hit that like button. We'll see you over on the watch along.
We all silly like the mayor.